You've seen these locations on screen, but you'll never see them like this again. Today, let's explore 100 legendary movie locations that time completely erased. Please go and check out the original website in the description. The Exorcist. Damien's mother's apartment, New York City. The entrance was sealed, buildings remodeled, and trees added, drastically changing the once barren street. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? The Grape family house near Pflugerville, Texas. The home and sheds were removed by 2017, but the trees and entry fence still mark the spot. The Lost Boys. The whale snout was attached to Day's Market in Santa Cruz. Removed for safety, the mural later vanished. A newer whale mural now loosely honors the location. Vertigo, 1958. Scotty passes St. Paul's Lutheran Church in San Francisco, built in 1894 and lost to fire in 1995. Nearby McKittrick Hotel exterior was demolished after filming. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Elysian Park, Los Angeles. The playground from Sarah's nuclear nightmare was a full set, built for the film and dismantled immediately after. The Outlaw Josie Wales, Smoky Mountain Road, Utah. The attack scene location still exists, but all movie-built structures and props have long since vanished. Easy Rider, Manby Hot Springs, New Mexico. Natural pools have shifted and been altered over decades, leaving the exact filming spot unrecognizable. The Exorcist, Georgetown track scene, now Kehoe Field atop Yates Fieldhouse. The track is covered, but parts of the observatory seen in the film still remain. Drive, 2011. Saugus Speedway opened in 1939 and closed in 1995. The 1 to 3 mile racetrack's grandstands were removed in 2012, erasing the filming location entirely. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Dairy Drum in Manor, Texas. The roadside diner seen in the film was demolished years ago, leaving no visible trace of the original structure. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, 1983. R2-D2 and C-3PO travel toward Jabba's palace along 20 Mule Team Road in Death Valley. Left side rocks are real. Palace and right side were matte paintings. The Lost Boys. Lucy, Michael, and Sam arrive in Santa Carla driving south on W. Cliff Drive past Lighthouse Point. The fake town billboard was later replaced by a bronze surfer statue. Creepshow 2, Curly Service Station on Iron King Road in Humboldt, Arizona. The road alignment changed in the 1990s. The iconic station was removed. Better Off Dead, 1985. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, 2001. This North Hollywood location doubled as Pig Burgers and Movies. The building has since been abandoned and no longer operates. My Darling Clementine, the tombstone set near Monument Valley. The view faces north, but the constructed town was dismantled after filming. The Godfather. Sonny's toll booth shooting at former Mitchell Air Force Base. Fake booths were built on runway access roads. Remaining runway sections are now endangered. Forrest Gump, 1994. Bubba's grave was placed behind a Beaufort home built in 1940. Today, the entire cemetery is no longer there. Planet of the Apes, 1968. Scarecrow Gateway set deep in the desert. Metal stakes and debris are gone, but the exact location is withheld to protect rare surviving film artifacts. The outlaw Josie Wales, the homestead near Kanab, Utah. The adobe was moved to a museum, and the original site is now overgrown and nearly impossible to reach. Once upon a time in the West. The Hanging Arch Rock Formation in Utah. The natural landmark is destroyed, and reaching it requires a long off-road hike. Office space. Tchotchke's exterior in Austin, Texas. The 1985 building later became a bank. The AT&T Labs tower still looms in the background. Hoosiers. Coach Dale stops at a rural crossroads near Lebanon, Indiana. The Concord Church of Christ seen here was destroyed by arson in 1994. Hoosiers. The Terhune store location still stands and is now apartments. The grain elevator and silo seen behind it were removed in the early 1990s. It's a Wonderful Life, 1946. Bailey Park scenes were filmed in La Cañada, Flint Ridge. The area later became home to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The Martini House still stands nearby. The Night Flyer, 1997. The Falling Star Motel in Wilmington, North Carolina, formerly the Carolinian Inn, was demolished in 2023. The site also appeared in The Conjuring. Stand By Me, the railroad fork decision scene at Beaufort Park, Oregon. Fake tracks were laid for filming. No real rail line ever existed at this location. The Hills Have Eyes, 1977. Fred's Oasis roadside stop near Filan, California, was a constructed set. It no longer exists, leaving only open desert behind. The Omega Man, the Olympic Theater in downtown Los Angeles. Opened in 1927, renamed in 1932, and remodeled in the mid-2000s. The outlaw Josie Wales, Santo Rio, Utah. An Old West town reused for decades, heavily damaged by floods, dismantled, then completely destroyed by a suspicious fire in 2006. Rush, 1991. Downtown Grill stood in Richmond's Mud Alley. All surrounding buildings were demolished over time. The grill fell in 2006. Only the fire hydrant remains. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. The Driscoll House at 720 Steiner Street in San Francisco and the nearby playground were both used for key scenes and still stand. The Howling, 1981. This house served as the Colony, the main location for much of the film's action. The structure has since been demolished and no longer exists. Stand By Me, 1986. Quidasiolu's General Store in Junction City, Oregon, was razed in 2017. The former filming site is now an empty dirt lot. The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976. The church at Bowie Street and West 14th in Texarkana was demolished sometime after 2015, removing one of the film's most atmospheric locations. Interview with the Vampire, Coliseum Theater, New Orleans. The historic building burned down in 2006 and was replaced by modern structures. Halloween 4. Earl's Bar in Copperton, Utah. The structure has been completely removed, leaving an empty lot where the filming location once stood. The Godfather. Louis Restaurant in the Bronx. The building survives, though the ground floor restaurant space was vacant during later visits. Pulp Fiction, 1994. Jackrabbit Slim's interior was a studio set, but the exterior came from a vacant bowling alley in Glendale. The building is now part of Disney Imagineering. Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman's strip mall law office exterior was filmed on location. The recognizable facade remains, though the interior scenes were shot on sets. Pet Sematary 2. Ludlow Junior High in Gay, Georgia. Now heavily remodeled as a banquet hall, with most architectural details from the film erased. Halloween H2O. Hillcrest Academy entrance on Browns Canyon Road in Chatsworth. The gated road and surrounding structures disappeared. National Lampoon's Vacation. Sinclair Oil Station. The iconic roadside stop seen in the film no longer exists in its original form. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Spahn Ranch at Corriganville Park. Wildfires destroyed the structures, but brick and concrete foundations from the movie ranch remain. The Hangover, 2009. Gas and Gulp in Jean, Nevada, closed in 2018. Pumps were removed in 2019, and the building is being renovated after nearby expansion. Hellraiser 3. Hell on Earth, 1992. The Pyramid Gallery scenes were filmed at 110 West Lewis Street in Greensboro, North Carolina. The structure remains today. Halloween 6. The Curse of Michael Myers, 1995. Dr. Loomis' house and Smith's Grove scenes were filmed at the former Cottonwood Paper Mill in Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Tremors, 1990. Perfection. Nevada was a complete set built for filming and removed afterward. A replica sign now marks where the fictional town once stood. Twister, 1996. The Oklahoma Cafe was constructed solely for the film and later removed. A nearby service station remains as the only surviving filming structure. Maximum Overdrive, 1986. Stephen King's ATM cameo was filmed at N Front and Princess Streets in Wilmington, North Carolina. The building was demolished in 2008. It, 1990. Henry Bowers bullies Ben at Trimble Street and West 3rd Avenue in Vancouver. The residential area remains recognizable with drastic changes. Drive, 2011. Shannon's Garage in Northridge, California was demolished in 2017 along with nearby buildings. Only background trees remained visible at the time of visit. First Blood, 1982. The Hope, British Columbia Police Station was built specifically for the film at Wallace Street and 3rd Avenue, then removed after filming concluded. Army of Darkness, 1992. The castle exterior was filmed at Pulsa Rosa Ranch in Acton, California. The structure was built for production and later removed. Breaking Bad, 2013. Walt's New Hampshire cabin scenes were filmed along Sandia Crest Scenic Highway in New Mexico. The cabin has been dismantled. Dr. Sleep, 2019. The True Not Kill Violet at Indian Island in Stone Mountain Park, Georgia. The wooded area remains intact and accessible within the park. Night of the Living Dead, 1990. The farmhouse in Washington, Pennsylvania, served as the primary setting. The place is almost unrecognizable today. Pumpkinhead, 1988. Harley Grocery was built for the film near Pico Canyon Road. The site is now private property beyond a gate, requiring a long hike to reach. Natural Born Killers, 1994. The 5-2 Cafe along AZ-99 sits abandoned and boarded up. Interiors were likely filmed here, though the location has long been closed. The Wraith, 1986. The swimming hole beneath Sabino Dam in Tucson was used for the scene. Rock formations remain visible. Water is seasonal in spring or after storms. Problem Child, 1990. Ben's Discount Tires at 910 North Galloway Avenue in Mesquite, Texas, was used for filming. The building remains at the location today. Starman, 1984. Bodark's bus stop in Tennessee was torn down years ago. The large fireworks sign remained until 2019 when it finally collapsed. Night of the Demons, 1988. Hull House in Los Angeles, demolished sometime after 1994, with a supermarket parking lot now covering the former location. The Godfather. Best & Comers on Fifth Avenue, closed in 1970 and was demolished. Olympic Tower replaced it in 1976, with St. Patrick's Cathedral still nearby. The Karate Kid, 1984. The Canyon Portal Motel in Sedona served as a filming location. The motel has since been demolished, and new buildings now occupy the site. Friday the 13th, Part 2. Jeff's truck tow scene in New Preston, Connecticut. The phone booth seen in the film is gone, leaving the roadside unrecognizable today. The Exorcist, Goldwater Hospital, Roosevelt Island. Built in 1939, closed in 2013, and demolished in 2014. Cornell Tech now occupies part of the site. The Punisher, Frank Castle's apartment building in Tampa, Florida. The filming location stood for decades before being demolished in 2011. No Country for Old Men, 2007. The gas station scene was filmed along NM 104 in Las Vegas, New Mexico. It was abandoned ever since filming. Planet of the Apes, 1968. Ape City at Malibu Creek State Park. A massive set once stood here, but it was fully removed and reclaimed by nature, leaving no visible traces today. Ninja 3, The Domination. Papago Park, Arizona. Filmed among natural rock formations, but all production-built elements were removed after filming ended. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Sun Valley, California. The overpass support column was built only for the crash scene and removed afterward. The real bridge never had one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990. WTRL 3, Wilmington, North Carolina. Exterior changes include a removed phone pole and altered entrances, erasing much of its movie look. Lethal Weapon 2, Riggs Trailer Site, Rancho Palos Verdes. The trailer's gone, replaced by a luxury resort built over the former filming area. Beetlejuice, 1988. Adam and Barbara's house in East Corinth, Vermont, was built solely for the film. The structure was dismantled immediately after production ended. Jaws, 1975. The swimming beach between Edgartown and Oak Bluffs remains intact. The American Legion Memorial Bridge has been renovated, but is still popular with locals. Back to the Future, 1985. The Lyon Estates entrance in Chino doubled as Hill Valley's 1955 housing development. The real neighborhood has since been modernized. One Tree Hill, 2003-2012. The outdoor court where Nathan and Lucas played became a key series landmark. The court itself has disappeared over time. Friday Night Lights, 2006-2011. East Dillon's abandoned field in Austin once belonged to DeVal High School. The school is gone, but the overgrown field remains. Breaking Bad. Tuco holds Walt and Jesse captive at a rural Los Lunas location. The isolated property remains recognizable, though practically destroyed. The Ring, 2002. Cabin number 12 in Stanwood, Washington, served as the remote getaway scene in the film. The quiet wooded location remains recognizable today. Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. The orphanage that opens the film once stood in Utah. It has since been demolished, leaving only an empty lot behind. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Wheel Inn Restaurant, Cabazon, California. Opened from 1958 to 2013, demolished in 2016. The nearby dinosaur statues remain standing. Once Upon a Time, in Hollywood, the Taco Bell in Tustin, California. The building still stands but was closed at the time of later visits. Phantasm, Dunes Cantina in Huntington Beach. Long elusive, it was identified via a former employee. Now a sushi restaurant with no exterior film traces. RoboCop, 1987. Dallas City Hall portrayed OCP headquarters. Matte paintings were used to exaggerate its size, creating the futuristic corporate tower seen on screen. Joe Dirt, 2001. Multiple roadside and desert locations were used for Joe's journey. Several minor sets and businesses seen in the film no longer exist. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Carefree Studios, Arizona. The Old West set was demolished in 1999 and replaced by a private golf course, erasing the location entirely. Stand By Me, 1986. Ace Merrill's house in Brownsville, Oregon, still stands. The quiet residential street remains largely unchanged since filming. The Ring, 2002. Rachel calls Aiden at Dungeness Landing County Park near Sequim, Washington. The structures on the pier have been removed after filming. White Men Can't Jump, 1992. Billy's hook shot was filmed between downtown Los Angeles streets. The court area is now gated off, but parts remain visible from the sidewalk. Natural Born Killers, 1994. The drug zone scene was filmed in Albuquerque. The building later housed a hobby lobby and then a gym, changing appearance over the years. Boys and the Hood, 1991. Ricky and Trey run between 1916 built houses on Fifth Avenue in Los Angeles. The alley behind them is gated, limiting direct access today. Jeepers Creepers, 2001. Opper's Diner once stood along FL 44 in Lake Panasoffkee. Named after the producer, it sat on a quiet two-lane road, now expanded into a four-lane highway. The Wraith, 1986. Packard Walsh's garage was filmed near Snyder Hill in Tucson, Arizona. The surrounding area is now a high-use free campsite with no remaining structures. Short Circuit, 1986. Number 5 talks to a gas pump near 710 West Marine Drive in Astoria, Oregon. All visible structures were gone by 1994. The Flintstones, 1994. The Bedrock home was filmed at Vasquez Rocks in Agua Dulce, California. The rock formations remain intact and are still widely used for filming and recreation. Near Dark, Colton Farm, Florence, Arizona. The rural filming site remains, but all structures has been abandoned ever since. Easy Rider, Pine Breeze Motel, Arizona. The original structure was absorbed into the Pine Breeze Inn, losing its recognizable film identity. Children of the Corn 2, Mrs. Burke's house, Ramseur, North Carolina. The building still stands, but signs of abandonment have erased its on-screen appearance. Starman, 1984. The Amoco gas station at 6144 Murfreesboro Highway in Manchester, Tennessee, was demolished around 2000. The lot is now empty, though the neighboring building still stands. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Camp Daniel Morgan was a temporary filming location. The iconic sign on the camp's entrance is no longer present.